How childhood conditioning steals your authenticity. Basically, how you were taught to forget yourself. Most people don't lose themselves overnight. They lose themselves quietly, slowly, so early, they don't even remember who they were before. If you've ever felt like you don't know what you actually want, you feel guilty for resting. You say yes when your body screams no. This video might explain why. Because what if the version of you running your life was never really you? Stay until the end. We'll explore the exact moment most people unknowingly abandon their authentic self, and how to start reclaiming it without forcing change. What is childhood conditioning? Childhood conditioning isn't abuse in the dramatic sense. It's subtler than that. It's the repeated message of this part of you is acceptable and this part is not. A child doesn't need to be told directly. They feel it. And here's the rule. Every nervous system learns early. Belonging is more important than being real, so children adapt. For example, let's look at child number 1, the quiet child. Imagine a child who talks too much. They're curious. They're expressive, full of questions. Adults respond with, "Be quiet. Stop interrupting. Why can't you sit still like the others?" So the child learns something crucial. My natural energy causes disapproval. Years later, that child becomes an adult who overthinks before speaking, apologizes for existing, feels invisible but terrified of attention. The authenticity didn't disappear. It went underground. It's hidden beneath the emotions, feeling unappreciated. Let's look at the authentic self versus adapted self. You were born with an authentic self, curious, emotional, instinctive. But what developed alongside it was the adapted self, the version of you designed to survive. The adapted self asks, what do they need me to be? What keeps me safe? What gets approval? Over time, that voice gets louder than your own. Now, let's look at child number 2, the good child. This child is praised constantly, not for who they are, but for how easy they are. They don't complain, they don't get angry, they don't ask for much. Adults say, "You're so mature for your age." What the child hears is, "My needs are a problem." As an adult, this becomes people-pleasing, difficulty asking for help, feeling selfish for having needs. Authenticity, therefore, becomes synonymous with danger. Emotions are the first thing to go. Most conditioning starts with emotions. Think about how often children hear, "Stop crying. You're too sensitive. Don't be dramatic." The message isn't, "Don't feel." The message is, feelings threaten connection. So emotions don't disappear. They get buried. And buried emotions don't stay quiet. They turn into anxiety, burnout, numbness. And now, child number 3, the strong one. This child learned early. Being strong gets me love. They become the one who doesn't need help, handles everything, never falls apart. As an adult, they're admired, but privately, they feel exhausted, disconnected, lonely, because authenticity was replaced with endurance. The inner critic is not your voice. That voice in your head that says, "Don't say that." That's embarrassing. You're not enough. That voice was installed. It once belonged to a parent, a teacher, a culture obsessed with performance. Now it lives in you, protecting you from rejection by silencing your truth. Children start losing connection to the body. Children are born embodied. They know when they're hungry, when they're tired, when something feels wrong. Conditioning teaches them to override it. As adults, this looks like ignoring exhaustion, saying yes with a tight chest, feeling anxious but not knowing why. Your body still knows the truth. You just stopped listening. How you know conditioning is running your life. Ask yourself, do I live by shoulds? Do I feel guilty resting? Do I perform instead of express? Do I fear disappointing others more than betraying myself? If yes, that's not a flaw. That's conditioning. How authenticity comes back. Here's the part most people get wrong. You don't force authenticity, you create safety. Authenticity returns when you listen without judging. You slow down instead of push. You choose curiosity over correction. Ask yourself, who did I have to stop being to be loved? That question alone starts the return. Note this: your authenticity was never lost. It was protected. You became who you needed to be, to survive. But survival is no longer the goal. If this video resonated, like it, subscribe, and share it. And leave a comment. What part of yourself are you starting to remember? This isn't about becoming someone new, it's about coming home. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content on authenticity.